Alright. Ahsoka episode 5. This episode was very anticipated by me because they've been screening this episode in theaters. Sadly, nowhere near me. Like, I could drive 2 hours out of my hometown to LA to go see it, but this is like an hour long episode. Why would I do that? I guess if I had infinite time and money and I didn't work today, I probably would have, but I, decided just to wait like a normal person until it showed up on Disney Plus. Would be cool to see it in theaters. If it was playing in this hometown, I would have gone absolutely. Same thing with the Obi-Wan, same thing with Star Trek Picard's finale. Man, why do they keep doing this shit in theaters and not making it near me? Please, whoever does and coordinates that shit, talk to me and get me tickets, because I'd love to. Anyways, this episode was great. I was really actually surprised how good this episode was. This is the episode I understand why they were showing it in theaters. This is super cinematic. It's a beautifully shot episode. Dave Filoni directed this, and it's his best directing work yet. Though, honestly, that's not saying a lot. Not that his direction has been bad, but there's always been a part of it that's been lacking. But when you see this episode, you're like, this guy needs to be allowed to direct a full-on Star Wars movie. He has created a full-on saga, just like the Skywalker saga, and he's really moving it along. In this episode, you get Anakin and Ahsoka battling it out. And I love these sequences because they're flashbacks to the Clone Wars. We learn more, we kind of see more of their dynamic. I love Hayden Christensen in this part because he is fucking terrible in the prequels. Some Star Wars fans will try to defend it and lie to you, but let's be real. He was terrible in the goddamn prequels. Stop lying to yourself. The dude was bad. But in this episode, he is fantastic. He's still hating Christensen's performance, but also calling back very clearly to the Clone Wars performance and style, and very much also the way he calls her snips and things like that. And he does it in a way that makes it his own, but still feels like the Anakin we knew from Clone Wars, which I'm sorry, Anakin from Clone Wars and the prequels are not the same fucking character in my mind, because they just don't feel the same at all. So, yeah, I thought that was really cool that he was able to do that with his performance. Really gave layers to his performance. And it just really made me very happy to see. And they do some beautiful shots with cinematography, that battlefield and shit, and that one shot of like Ahsoka watching Anakin walk out into the smoke, and his lightsaber's blue and he's walking out with it, and then it flashes red and he's Vader. Bam! Just a gorgeous fucking shot. Just wow. And there's a lot of great cinematography in this episode. And then seeing Hera's daughter be force sensitive, be the one to find Ahsoka, is really beautiful and really captivating and interesting. And I want to see what they do with that character. They should give him some spin-off books or something. If they do that, I'll probably read that, because he seemed like he could be a really fascinating character. Even comics. Actually, I prefer comics. I usually read comics, but still, book, comics, whatever. They make it. I gotta do a video on that. Really interesting, though. And yeah, and then, Ahsoka coming out of the water and talking to the whales and using them to find where Ezra is. That's like, I don't know why she didn't think of this before. It's kind of stupid. But I also like the choice of Ahsoka, which is to live. And I think that's kind of the problem with Ahsoka throughout the show, that I don't think they did a good enough job making clear. Ahsoka does not know where she is at life. She doesn't feel like she has a purpose anymore. You got Sabine here, who's super like, I just want to see my friend again. Maybe he's alive, but Ahsoka seems more stoic and apprehensive of that. Meanwhile, like, she's optimistic. And that's maybe why those characters have been clashing. But I feel like there needed to be more of that. Like, maybe we should have had connections or episodes where Sabine was looking at Ahsoka and just going, what's wrong with you? You used to be this optimistic, hopeful person, and now you act like you don't really have a purpose. And then maybe she goes, maybe I don't feel like I have one, like one. Something to make this point more clear, because then it's like, wait, was Ahsoka like not wanting to live? Like that's my only criticism with the episode. I feel like the character arc is not very well communicated of Ahsoka wanting to live. You know, I feel like it could have been stronger. And the emotions would have been better. It would have helped all of this feel a lot stronger than it did. As it stands, it's still really good. And I'm really happy with what we got. But it is a beautiful moment. And I do think that from here on out, there's only 3 more episodes. I have a feeling by the end of next week's episode, we will see Ezra. I don't know. Though I wonder, it may not end up that way, because I feel like the goal of the show, right, is to find Ezra. So maybe it won't end that way, but I feel like we're gonna end there. I don't know. We'll see. I really love this episode. It's a great episode, and yeah, I just can't wait for next week.